art. I have gone to 5 different national slam poetry competitions. My shirt is from one of them. It says "Words, Not Walls." If that doesn't give you an indication of what my political stance is, um, well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. The point is that um, I have been thinking about writing a piece based on the things that are going on right now within this country. Not only do we have some political unrest, we have a bunch of other issues going on, especially with the coronavirus. And watching the political debates right now is infuriating, to say the least. I've just been jotting down a couple of small ideas that I want to play with this piece. And by no means am I probably going to come up with something that is normal slam poetry length. And if you're curious as to what that means, it's about 500 words, because about 500 words is 3 minutes. It's around 3 minutes of talking. And in a slam poetry competition, you have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds. So essentially, you have 3 minutes and 10 seconds to say your stuff and then get off the stage. So here goes nothing. This is probably going to be one of the weirdest experiences, but thank you for joining me. Sometimes I make noises when I'm coming up with lines. The line that I just came up with in my head when I'm trying to type it out was, what's funny about me is that I can get into a lot of people before you even know that I'm there. I'm trying this thing where I'm doing a few more rhymes. More recently, I was working on a play before it got canceled because of the pandemic, which dealt with stories, various stories of a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. Heavy topic, so it's going to be probably a good thing. I mean, it's not a good thing that I'm not in the play anymore, but it is definitely less emotional labor that I have to undertake. Anyway, no one sees us as a problem until we're too big to fail. My friends are hilarious. Relying on thoughts and prayers rather than policies from politicians. I don't like those lines, but I'm gonna keep them for now. Right now is not the time for editing. Right now is the time for just kind of getting ideas out. Although this does take me in a direction that I don't necessarily want to go. So something that I like to do, my process tends to be, I'm going to look through my piece, see if I can find, so we have this term in martial arts called a golden thread, which is essentially, you want to imagine that your body is being suspended from, like if you became a Christmas tree ornament, like your head was being suspended from a Christmas tree ornament. And so the golden thread shows you, this is how my body is sitting when it's being suspended from the heavens as opposed to being propped up from the ground. And that way it kind of aligns your spine and aligns all of your body structures to be a little bit more structurally solid. And so if I ever say that I'm looking for a golden thread in my writing, what I essentially mean is that I am looking for a meaning that I may not have intended to write, but is showing itself a little bit more strongly. So I'm going to pause this for a moment. I know you think that I am the crisis. I am a crisis, but I am not the crisis. See, what's funny about me is that I can get into a lot of people before you even know I'm there, before I can be acknowledged as a problem. That's the thing with viruses. We overtake before we can be detected. You insisted that I couldn't be caught until I was fully shown, but by that time, my problems were full blown. I need to put another word after that, so I think I'm going to put in catastrophe there. Because it just feels like I don't want to end it with that same rhyme because it just feels too Dr. Seussy. The issue is that you think that I can be easily stopped, or maybe you thought this was the case, but you didn't see me until at least 1 week after I had gotten into the system. I remember. My friend capitalism has done the same thing. He didn't start off showing any kind of symptoms. Several people may have even thought he'd be good for them, but that's because they were focused on their bottom lines. Now that capitalism has wormed his way into so many places, it can be hard to imagine a situation in which he no longer exists. See, that's the problem with viruses. Ooh, yeah, so if I add in the word us, then that more closely correlates the idea of the coronavirus to the idea of capitalism, and that's kind of what I'm going for in this piece. That is the thread that I wanted to follow. See, that's the problem with us viruses. No one sees us as a problem until we're too big to fail. What's the bailout look like for millions of people who are relying on thoughts and prayers rather than policies from their politicians? It's funny when you think about it too hard, so don't think. I actually kind of like that. So, this is about a 15-minute recording so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here because I don't know how to edit yet. And what I can do is cut out some of the middle work over time. Catastrophe. There we go. And then what I can do is maybe work on some editing or work on some other stuff. But I'm going to cut it here and do some uploads and get some friends to see some editing or whatever. And I promise within, let's say, today is Sunday the 15th at just about 7 o'clock p.m. By Monday, since I'm going to be home pretty much all day, this quarantine thing is, I mean, we're not technically quarantined, but there is a sense that the entire community needs to be kind of staying on their own and staying within their own groups. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on. But so by tomorrow at 7 p.m., I will have some kind of finished draft of this, and I will do a performance. It won't be memorized yet, but with some time, I think I can make it there. So thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate your time, and hope that you stay safe. Let me know what you think. All right, pieces.